Your cinnamon looks rancid.
Oh, well, it's not cinnamon. It's a special kind of chili pepper.
Chili pepper and hot chocolate?
What if I tell you that Hollywood made an American film but managed to make it look like a French film? What if they took a minor character and put him in the main poster to make it look like he has a much bigger role than he actually does? And all of that is to sell you a ticket. But the other more important question is the movie any good? Let's find out. I'm Meffistoe. Like, share, and subscribe because this is my review of the movie Chocolat.
A holy war between chateau and chocolaterie.
Chocolat is a romantic drama set in a small French village in 1959. The movie was directed by Lasse Hallström and written by Robert Nelson Jacobs. The movie is based on a novel by the same name, written by Joanne Harris. Usually at this point, I give you a little bit of a background on the production, but alas, I couldn't find anything really juicy. The movie was shot primarily in a small medieval village in the Burgundy region in France and some secondary shots in England for all the scenes that needed the river. Although the movie looks and feels like a French movie, it is 100% Hollywood production. In fact, it is a Miramax movie, one of those small or medium budget movies that Miramax used to do in order to get lots of Oscar nominations and ended up making lots of money instead.
Because we river rats are the dregs of society, with horrible diseases and criminal impulses.
This sounds terrifying.
The movie tells the tale of Vianne and her daughter Anouk, who arrive at a small village at the beginning of Lent and open up a chocolate shop.
Yes, opening a patisserie during the Holy Lenten fast. I could imagine better timing.
Oh, but it's not going to be a patisserie.
The village and its people are very uptight and conservative, especially the mayor, Reynard, who is flabbergasted just at the mere thought that a sweet shop is opening during a time where people are supposed to abstain from pleasures.
Bitter chocolate, that's your favorite.
Which will have to wait 5 weeks more? Lent?
Vianne is not bothered. She believes in the power and the magic of the chocolate, especially when consumed. Sooner than late, the smell attracts some villagers to the shop as they give Vianne a try and fall for her confections. The first was her own landlord, Armand. Armand is a bitter woman who lost the ability to communicate with her grandson.
Because I don't like her treating him like a trained poodle. I swear that boy doesn't piss without her permission.
And then there's Josephine, an abused woman who comes to the shop and ends up developing a friendship with Vianne and learns the craft of chocolate making herself.
Your husband will be made to repent for this.
Tell him to repent on someone else's head.
Slowly but surely, Vianne is more accepted in the town to the dismay of Reynard as he tries his best to get rid of Vianne, her daughter, and that infernal chocolate shop.
If you haven't seen the new chocolaterie, perhaps you might like to take a look. It's important to know one's enemy.
Compared to the size of the film, it is filled with wonderful, fantastic actors. Juliette Binoche, who plays the lead role of Vianne and is the only real French actor in a main role, gives this film some credibility. Juliette is a fine actress, but she really shined in this role. Alfred Molina plays Reynard, and having to step back and look at this movie with a critical eye, I have to say that the casting was on point with him. Molina has a way of being angry without being outright angry and express it through his face. In other words, he does the passive-aggressive thing very, very well. And as a repressed ultra-Catholic that Reynard really is, it works well.
The first Comte de Renault expelled all the radical Huguenots from this village. You and your truffles present a far lesser challenge.
Dame Judi Dench plays Armand, the old landlord, and she's the first villager that Vianne encounters, and seemingly she's the hardest lady to crack. But the friendship that develops between the characters works well because of the good chemistry that Dench had with Binoche on screen. I will of course mention Peter Stormare and Lena Olin, both established European actors that have done many projects in Hollywood, who play Serge and Josephine respectively, the abusive couple. And I can go on and on with some great character actors in the film, filling up the faces of the townfolk.
I forgot to pay you for something the other day. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it was a gift.
No, people talk.
But the big piece, of course, is Johnny Depp. This is before the craziness that is the Pirates movie. The man was involved in lots of productions that are considered more artistic, and this is not an exception. Depp plays Rue, a river Romani who drifts into the village with his troupe and causes a lot of ruckus with the townfolk. But he also becomes a love interest of Vianne, which adds to the bitter animosity she has with Reynard. And my only issue with Depp isn't really with his acting, rather with the movie's PR, but I'll get to that in a moment.
I'm undone, but not my favorite.
Chocolat is categorized as a romantic movie, and yes, there is a love affair between Vianne and Rue, but it's not the main storyline of the film. It is that notion of the chocolate coming to a small little quiet village with its repressed, devout Catholic people, and the ideas that Vianne is trying to instill within this ancient Aztec being that is romantic. Vianne is everything this little place with its conservative mayor is not. She's a single mother with a small child in a place and a time where you're supposed to be married. She is a drifter in a place where you're supposed to stay in one place and never move on. And she's coming in a time where you need to hold back pleasures and not succumb to your earthly desires like sweets. But this romantic notion of chocolate morphs itself into other things, like an aphrodisiac or some type of a healing potion, and this is explored in this film. It is the intersection between all the different characters with Vianne in the center that acts as the catalyst to these people and this village that need it the most.
Unrefined cocoa nibs from Guatemala to awaken the passion.
You've obviously never met my husband.
Oh, you've obviously never tried these.
The real crying shame about this movie is not actually the movie itself. It is the PR team who sold the movie on the back of one subplot in the movie and just one actor. Yes, there is a love story between Vianne and Rue, and it has its ups and downs in the short amount of time that it takes place in the movie. But that is actually where my criticism lay. It is only a smaller part of the movie. It is not the main driving force of the plot, just a rung in the ladder. But it was mass sold in order to get people through the door like some average rom-com. And this is all on the back of Johnny Depp and the charisma he brings to the table.
Said Mr. Pantouf, you surprised me. World travelers such as yourself not interested in new flavors should be ashamed.
I will, however, recommend you pick up this movie to watch. It has got a great story with a little bit of underlying messaging, but this is of course the 2000s. At least they did it as a subtle note and not overt in your face. It is chock full of great actors with really great performances and a compelling story all throughout the film. And to me, the standout is actually Alfred Molina as the main antagonist, which he probably enjoyed playing. However, it is overly long, clocking in at 2 hours, but you won't get bored. Plus, a really good movie that is not a rom-com to enjoy as a couple.
If you're expecting me to just shrivel up and blow away, you're going to be highly disappointed.
I thank you for watching, and remember, hope is a good thing, maybe even the best of things, and no good thing ever dies. I'll see you on the next video.